The first item on our agenda is a new hearing for 9 Scott Ave. Can someone read that into the record for us, please?
Yes. This is the petition of Robert and Nancy Caparelli for property located at 9 Scott Avenue, Burlington, Mass. As shown on the Burlington Assessor's Record, map of parcel reference 17-117-0. The applicant is seeking a variance to construct an above-ground pool. The plot plan submitted shows the pool does not meet the required side and rear setbacks. Violation of Article 5, Section 5.2.0, Burlington zoning bylaw requires a minimum of 15 feet rear and side setbacks.
Thank you. Is the applicant for this petition online? Okay.
I give them a call.
Yeah, we'll give the applicant a minute.
That'd be them calling in.
We really can't get to the minutes either, right?
We should, take a motion to take it out of order.
Hello? See who that is.
Oh, sorry about that.
Oh, is that BCAT?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that good? I hit the button on the back of the camera. Is there anywhere else to be doing? I see it on the screen and WebEx. I see you logged in. They're on. Oh, where do I turn those on? Done. Desk. Switch for the room cameras.
Oh, yeah, yep.
That work? Is that good? Okay.
Good.
Now he's sitting. I call you back. Screen. Was red.
Hello. Hello. Can people at home hear us?
I can.
Yes, we can.
Okay.
Yes, I can hear.
Sounds like we had a little bit of technical difficulty, but I think we're.
That's not, sorry.
No, that's all right. Well, I think they're on.
They're on?
I think so. All right, so read 9 Scott Ave into the record. Is the applicant online?
Yeah. Nancy's the homeowner.
Yes, I'm the homeowner, and Peter DiBernardo or someone from Gibraltar Pools is supposed to be on our behalf as well.
They are not here live, and we don't see them online.
I just texted him. I just texted Peter to ask if he is trying to get online right now. So I'm waiting for a response from him.
Okay, we can give it a minute and we can go to our minutes.
Joellen, we can take a vote to move without closing this, right? Yeah, okay.
Thank you.
All right, take a motion to take the minutes out of order.
Make a motion to take the minutes out of order.
Seconded. All those in favor to take the minutes out of order?
Aye.
Opposed? 5-0. Okay, has everyone had a chance to review the minutes from our February 1st meeting?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes.
He's on now.
Second.
Motion is made and seconded to accept the minutes from February 1st. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? 5-0.
BCAT's calling back.
All right, we'll check that. Why don't you just give us 1 second? We're getting a call from BCAT. We want to make sure everything's working right.
You're all good? Okay. All right, thank you.
All right, thank you. Okay, is everyone for the applicant online for 9 Scott Ave?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, if you could give us an overview of the proposal, please?
Sure, my name is PJ DiBernardo. I'm from Gibraltar Pools in Topsfield. We've been in business 37 years and we build above ground pools. I wrote a narrative that I submitted with the application. Basically, talking about the search for a good spot for the pool for the family. There's two boys there, and they would like a pool. The yard it's a very long lot, wide lot, but it's not a very deep lot, and so that's why we're asking for some the lenity of the board in having the setback of 15 feet.
Okay, thank you. Start with the board. Jeremy?
Any questions?
Yeah, so I see that you've noted that you looked thoroughly at the property, but what is the problem with moving the pool further away from the side to not ask for a variance and move it closer to?
Yeah, the problem is it's kind of an awkward situation. They have the outdoor utilities. They have there's a deck there with a staircase. So it would be a little bit awkward trying to get by there. And the yard is completely bounded by a 6-foot fence. So the pool really won't be visible from the street or from ground level from beyond the yard. So to move it, it would be kind of a clunky type of situation if you moved it closer to the house or further away from the lot lines.
Thank you. That's all I have.
Mark?
I have no comments at this time.
Charles?
I don't have any comments at the moment.
Jeff?
I don't have any comments.
All
I
right.
have a question.
Yeah, we'll get to the public in 1 minute.
Okay.
I had the same question as Jeremy, why it couldn't be moved, so let's hear from the public, but I'd like to kind of get back into more detail on that afterwards. All right, so there's no one here live, so is there anyone online? We'll take one at a time. Please introduce yourself if you have any questions or comments.
My name is Barbara Mingle, and I live at Oak Ridge at Burlington, the condos that abut the property. Can you hear me?
Yes,
Yep.
yep.
Yeah, okay, my question is, I thought that our property manager was going to represent the condo, so I wasn't planning on speaking, but I don't know, can you tell me if there's anybody else there online from Oak Ridge at Burlington?
There's one caller online that doesn't have.
So, well, they don't seem to be speaking up, so we're not sure who they are.
Okay.
I'm here, Barbara.
Okay. My only question was what Mike brought up, our property manager, about when the privacy trees will be planted and how tall will they be? And hopefully that would happen at the same time as the pool. And I know the pool supplier said that it can't be seen, but it's an above ground. And I believe anybody above a certain height without the trees can be seen.
Yeah, it's a 4-foot wall and it's a 6-foot fence that's there already. So 4 feet, I suppose somebody that is very tall, if Dikembe Mutombo was in the pool, you might be able to see the top of his head on the other side, but most people, I don't think.
Because there will be adults. It's not going to affect me. I'm at the other end of the complex, but it will affect the unit owners on the other end. So that was my only question about the trees. Are they going in at the same time as the pool?
So
And how tall will they be?
can I ask you a question of what trees, can see there's no trees.
planned as part of this application. So I'm not sure.
The document that was sent to us.
I can speak to that because
Okay,
Peter is not a contractor in terms of the landscaping. The Gibraltar Pools simply puts in the pool and that's it. So my husband and I have been in talks with the landscaping contractors to discuss, how we're going to transition the yard once, but we needed to know whether the pool could go in or not. Once we know that the pool can go in, then we can work with the contractor on how we're going to landscape the yard and when that's all going to happen. But none of that could happen until we knew about the pool, because if we weren't going to have the pool in, then there was no sense in trying to work around the pool. Do you understand what I'm saying? But the plan is that once we know whether we're going to have the pool or not, then we will immediately get in touch with the contractor and discuss what the landscaping is going to look like. And we absolutely are going to put up trees. I can't remember the name of what
yeah, I
this
can't
contractor
either.
had said in the estimate, but they were definitely going to be higher than the fence and high enough to provide, certainly a good amount of privacy from the pool. Did that answer your question well enough?
Yes. So the answer is that they will go in simultaneously with the pool, not 5 years later.
Oh, definitely not 5 years later, because the thing is, we want other things to happen in the backyard as well as the pool, but
Yep.
we need to plan around it. And so, of course, we can't make our specific landscaping plans until we know if there's a pool involved in that landscaping or not. But yes, the plan is, say the pool goes in April or May, then the trees would go in as soon as possible after. Certainly, within a month.
Great.
Okay, is there
Anyone
any?
else online that would like to speak on this application?
I would, this is Joe Fazio at 8 Murray Avenue, also in the condo complex. And I just want to kind of bring up both issues again. First of all, with regard to the trees, because obviously privacy is a concern here, and whether or not there's something that could be done that's enforceable by the town, so that once the pool is completed, that the town could take steps if in fact the trees were not planted. And then the second thing is with regard to the location of the pool and the request for the variance. My understanding of the answer to the question was that basically it just looks kind of awkward, but that it could be done. And I'm wondering, is that typical for something like this? Does the town typically allow for a variance just because of aesthetics, basically?
No, we're going to dive into more detail on
The reason for it needing to be where it needs to be. So we are going to dig into that a little bit more.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so, all right.
With regard to the tree, whether or not is that somehow enforceable by the town?
If we were to
Make it a condition of this approval, then it would be enforceable by the town. We'll have to talk that out too. I mean, if just as a reference, and they are asking for a variance, but if they were to build this within the setbacks, there would be no requirements to have any type of trees or landscaping to screen the pool in any way, and that they would be able to do it by right. So the only reason that would come up is because they are requesting a variance for it. So we can have that as part of our discussion, and we'll get into that after we kind of hammer out the location of the pool, I think is the first thing we need to do. So,
Thank you.
Thank you. So I'd like to see if we could get a little bit more detail or a little bit more clarification on the location of the pool and why it needs to be here and can't be closer. I mean, a lot of pools are built off of decks, off of houses. So, and I think you mentioned something about utilities, so I'd be interested in more information on that, what restrictions you have with the utilities for the placement of this pool.
Yeah, so, outdoor air conditioning units, usually on a slab. So there is a slab in the, I guess it would be the southeast corner, just beyond at the area of the house closest to where the pool is contemplated. And, that extends, probably 5 feet, 4 to 5 feet from the wall of the house. So now when you're there, it's kind of hard to explain unless we're all standing and having this meeting in the backyard. When you walk into the backyard from the front through the gate, you'll see a yard that's a big, not big, but it's a flat manicured grass yard that's a rectangle bounded by a fence that's over most people's heads. So when you're in the yard where the pool is going, it's not something where, you know, if there were, it's not, it seems like a logical spot for the pool. If you bring it closer to the house, and I think it doesn't detract from the neighborhood or anything like that, what we're asking for, but if you bring it closer, like I say, it's not aesthetics, it's more of a common sense spot for the pool. And we wouldn't, if there were the 15 feet, you know, we wouldn't even be applying for the variance, obviously. There just is not a sensible spot that would be closer to the house where we could take it away from that corner of the yard, you know? So again, if you're trying to navigate, you know, cut the grass and go between the pool and the house, and then there's a deck there too, a small deck that would be kind of interfering a little bit. It just would be a clunky spot, and then you'd have all this space on the other side of the pool that really it calls for the spot to be there, in my opinion. You know, we've done a lot of these, pulled several variances this year. You know, these meetings are kind of a nice part of our job. I will tell you that Burlington, it really is probably not even an issue, but Burlington has a very onerous, the 15 feet is a lot for a pool like this. Most of the towns we deal with, it's 6 to 10 feet setback. So 15, it's tougher to make that in most places. And so that's why we're here for the variance.
Okay, well,
The setbacks are the setbacks, so we have to work within that. And, you know, we typically look for, you know, hardship as to why something can't be there. And, you know, I'm not sure that the placement is clunky as a hardship. So I'd like to hear from other members and see what they think.
Well, it would be a safety issue too. I mean, God forbid if you know, a firefighter had to access the pool from the back. It just would be a narrow type of alleyway to get back there. That's why we're asking for a few feet further away from that. But okay, thank you.
okay, thoughts from members, Jeff?
Feet off the house, are you proposing to put the pool?
I don't have a precise figure there, but I'm guessing it would be about 10 feet.
It's 10 feet off the house?
Yes.
We would need to see that measurement.
Yeah, because.
And there's, like I say, within that 10 feet barrier, there are the utility units.
Yeah, I actually just looked at a satellite view of the house, and I wasn't able to see any sort of utilities there, but I saw there was a temporary pool in the side yard, so I'm just trying to see what the hardship is on having it there.
I'm looking at it, so I don't know if you can see this. It's kind of imperfect, but here, this is the front yard. Here's, yeah, this.
John, can you click on his screen so it's bigger for us to see?
Here is the front yard right here. This is the backyard.
Hold on
Right
one second. We're trying to enlarge it over here so we can see. You're on a little tiny tile right now.
Okay, we can see it a little better now.
All right, now put it back up.
And what I've circled there are the air conditioning And I've kind of penciled in where the pool is, the rectangular pool would be. Guess we should put it this way. Let's see, Scott Avenue.
Yeah, we can see it. You just stop moving it for a second. We can look.
Okay.
Can you
I'd
point
re-
where Oak Ridge at Burlington is?
I can see Oak Ridge, yes.
Okay, so it's in that corner, okay. Can I ask a
Yeah.
question? Is it a few feet or is it 15 feet?
Wait until we reopen the public hearing.
So what, are you talking about, yeah, we didn't close.
Oh, we didn't close.
Are you talking about the setback for Oak Ridge to the lot line? Is that the question?
Yeah,
I would say that that's about 15 feet, but I don't have a measurement on that. So, all right, go ahead, Jeff, if you have anything else.
I'd really like to see what the measurement is between the house and where the pool is. That the plan shows everything but the measurements away from the house. So that's all I have at this moment.
All right, Charles?
May I chime in on one thing? So the deck there that's on the plan is 12 by 12. And it seems like the pool starts at just about, if the plan that I submitted with your application, if you have it there, and it seems like the pool starts at about where that deck ends. So it would be 12 feet
So the pool's 12 feet off the house.
off the house. And in the 12 feet barrier are these large air conditioners.
Are they 12-foot air conditioning units?
No, they're not 12 feet air conditioning units, but they're large units. They're probably 4 foot square, two of them, on a pad that's a little bigger.
Okay, I'm good right now.
All right, Charles?
I'm good, just, this plot plan's dated 12/1/16, so it's not the, some of these measurements to me don't appear to make sense, if that, the northernmost 34.6 off that corner, if it's even roughly even, it'd be like 21 feet off the southern corner, so, or eastern corner. I don't know, just doesn't look right. Looks like somebody just put these lines on without actually going back to Daniel O'Neill. I guess that's just something to think about if we make a motion.
Yeah, no, it was scaled out by me. I mean, I've been there, but I didn't get that measurement off the house, and I'm sorry about that.
Do you have the dimensions of the pool, including the, I don't know what you call it, the deck around it?
Yes, so the pool itself, the swim area, the water area is 12 feet wide by 20 feet long. And with the safety ledge around it, it's 16 by 28. So it has 2 feet of a ledge on the two long sides and a 2 foot on the one side closest to the property line, and then a 6 foot platform on the other side. It's a manufactured deck that's all part of the structure. And it has a safety railing all the way around that.
Okay. Mark?
Any comments?
Just that it seems like you could move the pool, I guess, what is it? Northerly, easy enough to get around one of the setbacks? I mean, can you explain why you couldn't eliminate one of the setbacks requirements?
Well, it really couldn't be moved towards the center of the backyard because of the deck. And I suppose it could be moved a little bit more towards the house. It would just be, 15 feet would be a lot. So to get off the back line, it wouldn't be a sensible spot for the pool. It would be hurtful to the homeowner to have to move it that close. It wouldn't, none of us would really want it there. You know, I know to say it's clunky is not enough of a hardship, but it really would be a very awkward situation for that pool. And, you know, after all, it is a temporary structure. It's a nice quality pool we build, but at some point it will be removed, and it's not a permanent fixture to the property as an in-ground pool would be. So, I mean, I think that given that it's bounded by this fence, really does not detract from the area around that. At least that's the way we figure it.
So the only other comment that I have, it seems like, you know, you've got two,
Mr. Fazio and the other person that has commented about the buffer or the privacy. And so it might make sense to have that as part of your presentation in terms of what you could do to appease the abutters in terms of what that buffer would be, what kind of trees or evergreens or whatever. Those are my comments.
All right, Jeremy?
All right, I don't have any more comments.
All right, yeah, I'm having kind of a hard time wrapping my head around this too, because these dimensions are not correct. If you take, just for example, the rear lot line is 87 feet and change. You take the 7.5 feet off the lot line, plus the 28 feet that the pool is with the surround on it, and there's only 51 feet left. And this.
It's 87 feet.
Oh, plus
To a
12.
certain point, and then there's an additional 12.82 feet.
Okay, so 12, so you're 63, all right.
Closer. So my math, the way I did this, I came out with this pool being 11 feet off the house, if I did my math right. So I'm still trying to gauge on how far away it is from the deck, because I'm not sure that we can't shift it in that direction. The rear lot line, you know, if it's 11 feet off the house and the deck is there, I can see a reason that can't go closer to the house. I would be curious to know what kind of plantings you could get in there, but that's another topic. So, we can try to figure out what the math on this is. I don't know if you know how close to the deck it is now, the distance off. Just, you know, we're looking for a reason why this pool has to be where you're saying it is. So we kind of need those numbers to know what the real situation is.
Okay.
I mean, we could take a minute and try to do some of the math out, not necessarily need to come back. I don't know if the other board members agree with that. But at least we'd know what we're talking about. We could get more specific about what we'd be looking for if we needed more information.
So if I could say this, I'm using my scalar ruler here. If you figure that it's 12 feet off the house right now to the edge of the perimeter ledge of our pool, or 11 feet if you say, but 11 to 12 feet, then also from the deck to the edge of the pool is just under that. So it's probably 3/4 of that. So that's probably 9 feet right now from the edge of the deck to the edge of the pool. And rectangular deck, the existing deck. So that's, if we moved closer, you could move a little closer, but I mean, otherwise it would be like a very awkward, we'd still need the variance to some degree. We could probably move the pool, you know, a couple of feet off the back and off the side, beyond what we've asked for, if that was a condition of the approval. I'm sure that we could find that. So maybe come 10 feet instead of 7.5 off the side and rear. I just can't get the 15 in a sensible.
Yeah,
Wait.
and I think that's helpful too, knowing that it's approximately 9.
From, where you're proposing this to the deck, to add another 7.5 feet, it would only be 2.5 feet off, and I could understand why you wouldn't want to only have it 2.5 feet off. That is more understandable to me than when I'm looking at this, without a scale or a dimension, it looks like it could have been closer to 15 feet, so. So that's one thing. All right, so that, I think maybe we can make some small adjustments to that. I think that will help out. I would like to ask the applicant or homeowner, do you have, just without a lot of detail, do you have a general idea for what you're talking about for trees in the back there? And are they gonna fit within this area?
Funny you should ask. I didn't want to interrupt, but I actually just pulled up in my email the estimate from our landscaper because I knew that he had put in the specific kind of trees and the details on that. So I pulled it up. I don't know how well versed you are in trees. I'm not at all, but he calls for installing 13 arbor vitae trees around the entire perimeter of the pool area.
How tall?
I was looking it up to see how tall they are. And the pictures that I find of them, they look to be, I think, at least 7 to 8 feet tall. They could be taller than that. I just don't know.
And they grow 1 to 2 feet a year too, so they're a fast growing natural barrier.
So just to clarify, I'm not sure if you know the answer to this question,
When you
but
say around the perimeter of the pool, do you just mean on the rear and the side, or all the way around the pool, or?
I believe the rear where it would border the fence.
okay.
And I mean, both, I assume that rear area as well as perhaps the other side where the fence is, where it abuts not the condos, but just the grassy area that is still part of the condo property.
Yeah, okay.
So if
So-
we were to,
Just note that the fence is 6 feet tall already in the pool. So if the trees are 7 feet tall, it's only gonna go up 1 foot.
Well, that was my estimate of the minimum. I believe they're taller than that. I just don't know.
Mhm.
you don't have a species of arborvitae by any chance, do you, on your proposal?
It does not, it just says arborvitae.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
I could get more details if you'd like, in the future. I'm actually currently out in California right now, so I'm not even there. But I can get it for you at some point if that's helpful.
I have a particular interest, only I am at the total opposite end of the condo complex. I have a neighbor abutting me. And I'm a city girl, so it's not an issue, but it's extremely noisy because they have a patio. And there are trees there, but there is not a fence. It's extremely noisy. But I'm a city girl. I came from Cambridge to Burlington. It's not a big issue, but I can't imagine if it were a pool because I have my windows open. So that's my only concern, is a foot above the fence. Is that going to help the unit owners on the other end? Just something to think about.
I don't know how visible it is from the schematic that you had or from the satellite view, but there, as you know, there are a lot of trees back there already that are part of the condo property on the other side of the fence.
Yeah, there is a pretty good natural screen there. And Barb, if noise is what you're concerned with, if they're kicking a soccer ball around or playing in the pool, the boys are boys, and I'm sure they'll keep it down. But the point is, they're playing in the backyard, and they will be at ground level, really, because the pool water will be at ground level. They won't be up beyond.
Yeah, it's not always kids on my end. It's
Yeah.
parties and adults. And it's not going to affect me, just a question. And I have particular interest of that because I know how noisy it is at my end because there is a yard and a patio without a pool. That's all. I'm 19 units down the front.
Okay, Charles, comments?
I'd say if we were to condition this to arborvitaes, I think that's fine. They're gonna grow every year and eventually be taller than 7 feet. So for me, that doesn't seem like a big hang up. Just wanna make sure we get the math right on the rear and the side.
right, well, they sounded like they were they would be amenable to some small adjustments. I know they said they can't do the 15, so, I think they mentioned 10 on both. I think that would work for me. It pulls it away. I think it gives more room for the screening too in the back and on the side. 7.5 feet between the pool and the lot line, and you're trying to put some arborvitae's in there. I don't think that's a lot of room, to be perfectly honest with you, so I think it would actually work out better. But let's go one more round. Well, I'll just, if anyone else has comments before we close the public hearing.
I think your recommendation works. If they'll make it 10 feet and put in the arborvitae's, then I think it's acceptable.
I feel the same way.
Okay. Jeff, you good with that?
I was just questioning the measurements. I came up with 101.5 square feet from sideline to sideline, adding this together, but
Yeah.
I think the 10 feet, if we're conditioning it off the sideline in the back, that would work.
Right. Yeah, I mean, the 66 dimension doesn't necessarily mean anything to us, so if that's wrong, then it's wrong as long as we get the dimension correct, so.
I wouldn't even use the plan, so.
Yeah. I'll put it back to the applicant before we close the public hearing. It sounded like you'd be amenable to 10 and 10 for the setbacks, and I just want to confirm that you'd be amenable to us putting the condition of having the 13 arborvitae's within that corner of where the pool is on those two setbacks.
Yes.
Okay, I'll take a motion to close the public hearing.
Make a motion to close the public hearing?
Seconded.
Motion is made and seconded to close the public hearing. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? 5-0. All right, just have to be careful about how we word this, but I don't think we're gonna reference this plan.
Yeah, I don't think I should.
Say setback for the purpose of the pool.
Figure it out. All right, make a motion to approve 9 Scott Ave for a rear and side setback. Rear setback is 10 feet, and the side setback is 10 feet. Would you want to put it on, should I put it on the pool, you think?
I would say for the purpose of the pool
Sure.
only.
For the purpose of the above-ground pool?
The perimeter, from the perimeter.
Yeah.
You want to put that in there too, so, all right, so we'll go 10-foot side and rear setback, on the, it's tough to do without a plan.
Proposed structure. I'm just looking for some of the language in here. It says proposed structure pool. So you can say for the purpose of the pool and surrounding structure.
So 10-foot and rear, and 10-foot side and rear setback for the purpose of the, structure and above-ground pool. With the condition that there is a natural barrier planted around the perimeter of the pool using arborvitae's, the minimum of 13 arborvitae's.
Second.
Motion is made and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? 5-0. All right, you're all set. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, that's it? Motion is made and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? 5-0. Meeting adjourned.
Aye.
Get it.
Gotta wait for the.